Hello, I'm Toycat, and yesterday, on April the 1st, Minecraft released the 20W14 Infinite Snapshot update. So this was of course the April Fool's joke for 2020, although it was a really impressive April Fool's that actually did contain 2 billion different dimensions. It's so interesting I actually want to check it out some more. But yeah, the regular work on the regular Never update has been continuing, and that's why today, alongside seeing that update yesterday, we also saw a brand new Bedrock beta and a brand new Java Edition snapshot for the 1.16 Never update. And of course they've been really busy, so this week is mostly focusing on bug fixing, but somehow alongside that, the Java Edition has also added a brand new mob for the first time, the Zoglin. As you can see, this is a brand new Minecraft mob. You might see it's familiar from somewhere because it's kind of a variant of an existing mob, but it has its own spawn egg, it's a whole own thing, and there are some other changes I want to talk about in today's video because a brand new Java snapshot, a lot of bug fixes in a Bedrock beta, and most excitingly of all, we have a brand new Minecraft menu screen. So every single Minecraft update, for the most part now, the major ones at least, update the Minecraft menu screen. I like this as a thing because it used to have the same background forever. I think changing every update is a good way to say, yes, this is 1.16. It signifies kind of a turning point in this update because, yeah, the update is at a finished enough point that they've put the background on there. There are many things to be working on, you know, bastions, etc. But to see the background is really cool. It, in fact, also reminds you that, like, yeah, in a few months when this update does come out, when it is available for everyone to play, this is what Minecraft will look like, and I am super excited to hear that. But should we dive into the 20W14A snapshot? Let's do precisely that, because do you know why it's called 20W14A? Because it's the 14th snapshot, the first snapshot of the 14th week of 2020, of course. That's why it's got the weird numbers, but it is a 1.16 never update snapshot, a snapshot which only claims to contain 2 features, the hoglins, which turn into zoglins, and of course the compasses can now be enchanted with curses of vanishing, but it does have a couple of other features which I think are worthwhile. The menu I just showed you, as well as some Strider changes that are really great if you were looking for nether boats, and I'll explain more after we get to the Zoglin. So what exactly is a Zoglin? I mean, we've got so many things that end with glin now, right? We've got the zombified piglins, we've got the piglins, we've got the hoglins, and now we've got the Zoglins, and you might be able to guess what they are, but to be simple, if you have a hoglin, which again has a very different spawn egg because they are different mobs, just to clarify, if you have a hoglin and you try to take it to the overworld via a nether portal, kind of like how the, I should mention that the Zoglin doesn't like any other mobs, but if you try to take a hoglin to the overworld with you, what will actually happen is we'll get this kind of zombified disease. This is sadly what happens to the piglin as well. Piglins cannot exist in the overworld, they turn into zombified piglins, and hoglins, they feel uncomfortable in the overworld. They were not built for this terrain, so after a few seconds, they turn into Zoglins just like that. And yeah, you'll notice they have a lot of texture overlap with the zombified piglin. It's not a lazy thing, it's just to indicate that, like, yeah, half of them turns into bone, some of them get zombified, and the rest stays as it is in zombie mode. So what exactly is the Zoglin then? Because as you can see, as soon as my other hoglin here turned into a Zoglin, he stopped having issue with the existing Zoglin. Zoglins are basically chaotic mobs. They'll attack anything that they come across that isn't one of their own. Again, they seem to be peaceful to themselves right now, which, you know, is the current behavior, but their official behavior is that they'll attack anything. And you might say, anything, Toycat? Yeah, anything. Name a mob and the Zoglin will attack it. Here is a Strider, for instance. Zoglin doesn't like it. I mean, it's a cute little mob. Minecraft's cutest, you could argue. You might think to yourself, who's going to attack turtles? Zoglins will attack turtles, that's who. They really don't care about any other mob out there in the game. They are just, again, I guess you could call them like, they attack everything equally, with the only rare exceptions being things like the Ender Dragon, again, other Zoglins, and Creepers, which they don't seem to care about, which I think is a shame. I feel like having something finally kill Creepers would make it like an actually useful mob, but for the most part, the Zoglin is just there as a chaotic, you know, version of the hoglin. It's mostly not going to come up as a major feature in this update, I wouldn't say, but think of it this way. If you want to have something that'll attack any visitors to your house, I mean, including you, but if you want to have something scary to, you know, be on the outskirts of your village, the outskirts of your house, a Zoglin is a great way to do that because it's a mob most people won't know how to deal with because they won't see very often. And I think that's the cool thing about the Zoglin. It's more of an Easter egg mob because you can only get it by bringing the hoglin to the overworld, and because it kills pretty much everything. Again, who wants to kill turtles? The Zoglin wants to kill turtles aggressively, violently too, and yeah, it's something you can expect from this update. So that's the major feature that came with this week's snapshot. The other official feature in this snapshot is the fact that you can take a compass, you can add the curse of vanishing to it, and then this means that, of course, when you die, the curse of vanishing is lost alongside it. So the cool thing about the way this works, if you put the curse of vanishing on there, is you can make this like a lodestone kind of feature where you point the compass at the lodestone and you allow people to see where, say, your base is, but the moment they die, that is lost. So it's a fun way to make adventure maps and stuff like that. I don't imagine in survival you'll be seriously doing that, not least because the curse of vanishing isn't usually found in survival that way. It's mostly for map makers and stuff, and maybe one of you out there is like, yes, this makes my map work, but for most people, this is a pretty niche feature. Most people don't use curses themselves, because again, curses, if you don't know, actually are Java and console exclusive right now. They're coming to Bedrock very, very soon, but like, basically the curses are, one is vanishing, one is binding, one can make your, tools vanish when you die, one can make it unequipable until you die. So, yeah, now you can put the curse vanishing on a lodestone compass, and it means that if you are to die, then of course you will lose your compass. And again, some map is going to be able to make advantage of that, but it's not the most interesting thing in this update in my opinion, because what is the most interesting thing has to be the changes they've made to the striders. So again, Minecraft's most adorable mob, I think you'll all find. But if we are to, let our strider outfits work, then you can see how they've rebalanced striders in a way that basically makes it the same speed as a boat. So striders, but Minecraft's equivalent to having boats. Like you have striders, they float on top. Actually, it's not meant to float this way, but the striders, they go on top of the lava and they work kind of like this. And yeah, for some reason he's actually trapped on top of the lava. This is a bug, I think. Man, by the way, Striders have been giving me so many bugs. This is why these bug fixes are necessary. Last week my game actually crashed to the level where I couldn't play this snapshot till they fixed it. So good to see that that has been fixed. But yeah, this is a weird mob. Let's get him back in the lava first. Anyway, let me just prove this with another Strider real quick. As you can see, Striders, when you use the fungus on a stick, not only will the fungus on the stick last longer now, but the Strider will move significantly faster. And again, because this is meant as like Minecraft's alternative to having nether boats, they've decided to make it pretty much resemble the speed of a boat in the overworld. If you want to traverse your lava oceans in Minecraft, you can do so at effectively the same speeds that you could traverse a regular ocean in the Minecraft overworld, except you use Striders instead. And I think that is great. I think having a boat in the nether be based as a mob is a fun idea. I think Minecraft's first helpful, truly mob that exists in nether, also a great idea. And I love that they've, increased the durability of the fungi. I love that they've increased the boost on this thing. Like, seriously, look how fast you can make your boats go. Can't do that in the overworld. I think these features together are super, super fun and will make the nether traversal much, much, better than otherwise is right now. I think this is one of those sleeper features that will seem like, how important really is it? And then when you see it for the first time in your own survival world, you'll be like, yes, this is what I want. I need more of this, and I need it now. Because if you want to find new nether biomes in survival, this is a great way to do so. Flying around, sure, it works for those lost for elytras, but not everyone has that in survival. It's going to be hard to come across compared to literally a fishing rod, a saddle, and a piece of fungi. Sure, they're both somewhat late game compared to a horse and a saddle, compared to walking around or taking a boat somewhere, but that's kind of the beauty of the nether. It's a little bit of a harder dimension, but the rewards, once you get the stuff going, are much better. And that's what I'm liking about the nether update so far. This is the second major change. Most of the rest of this update is actually bug fixing. And speaking of bug fixing, that brings us nicely into nether update betas, because another nether update beta has come out, and this nether update beta is also all about the bug fixing. Because the 1.16.0.55 beta just came out for Xbox One, Windows 10, and Android users who are logged into the beta. You have to use the Xbox Insider app. I don't actually recommend it for most players because it's a lot buggier. It's a risk of your worlds. You can't go back without losing access to all those worlds. A lot of downsides to it. But yeah, the 1.16.0.55 update's out right now. Love that name system. But the thing about this update is it doesn't include any new features, even though the nether update on Bedrock betas is about a month behind, if not a little bit longer. The Java edition, you can see how they've instead focused on making bug fixes. And yeah, we've got a bunch of things like, hey, they fixed a crash that could occur during gameplay. Basically a lot of crash fixing, a lot of light propagation that has been fixed, which is nice. Chunks should no longer fail to load properly in 250 megabyte plus worlds. Again, I feel like this is a very niche change for me, but it has happened to me all the time. I died literally this weekend because the chunk failed to load. I fell to my death in the Elytra, and it's like, oh, there goes all my experience, which I don't use experience farm, so that's actually a big deal for me. It's nice to see stuff like that fixed. It's nice to see, screen no longer twitches when the player dies in the different end. There's a lot of changes they're making to Minecraft Bedrock all the time. Is this the most important thing to be working on? Because people always say like, hey, Why can't they be making new things? I think working on bug fixes is so important, especially when we call it bug rock, right? Like, it is a buggy version of the game, and they're slowly making it better. That's a key thing they do with every single update. You can see right here all of the different changes. I'll scroll up and down a few times if you want to read through them. But the thing I question is, like, you know, because obviously the reason it takes so much longer, the reason there's so far fewer betas on Bedrock, like this is the second one, the second or third major beta we've gotten versus, you know, like a whole year of snapshots, or this part of the year from Java. So the question is, like, so what is the deal with that? And some of it's to do with the fact that, yeah, they've certified across a bunch of platforms, although in the case of the beta, it's free platforms, even though it's a beta, so it's even less than that. The truth is the Bedrock team is just a different entity. The operation for Minecraft Bedrock, perhaps because it includes so many more developers, is actually a lot slower to move in certain ways, and, you know, there is a lot more effort required to get a lot of people's work together in one place, whereas the Java team, you know, having a smaller team should be a bigger downside. Like, people assume, like, more manpower equals more game, but I think this is a great example to prove that, like, yeah, because there is a bigger team, there is actually a slowness in certain parts of the move. There are individual developers doing great things, you know, people who are working on these crashes. It takes a long time to fix, you know, bugs like MCPE 58,514, bugs like, you know, the light issue, bugs like the way that casting a fishing rod would, you know, these sorts of things. The one that I found interesting was the carrot on stick, shield, and shovel now lose durability consistently. Yeah, the way durability is lost is weird, and it must be hard to dive into those. I totally understand. But I think it comes down to something simple, like, yeah, if you have a small team, they can work faster and more, you know, like, let's call it agile speaking, whereas Minecraft Bedrock can get bigger projects done as a whole, and that's why we've seen the big difference in the update systems that in general looks better with Java, because Java gets the features first. By the time they're on Bedrock, they're old news, but we are seeing a lot of features come to Bedrock. We will be seeing every single feature mentioned in this you know, thing, including your Striders, including your Neverwoods, include all the things that you haven't seen just yet, Never Goldor, etc. will come over to the Bedrock betas. It's just they won't be coming over there just now, and that is just down to, like, oh yeah, as it turns out, there's a lot of things they want to fix in here, as well as getting those features out here. It sometimes is frustrating to look at it and be like, there's a huge delay in there. But again, Minecraft Bedrock needs to fix bugs. We've gone over this a billion times, but, like, the game is buggy. The game needs to be fixed. The game can spend a lot of time fixing those things, and that is fine. It's frustrating if you're in the beta, but you're not playing Java snapshots because you can't experience these features before. But if you are waiting for the main game, 1.16, don't worry, it's going to be the same both versions. And yeah, as far as bugs, we've spoken about this a billion times, but there are so many big bugs in Minecraft. I've even got a video coming out this week, like 5 huge bugs that still exist as of the current version of Minecraft Bedrock. Fixing these should be key. And especially when we're talking about game crashes, when we're talking about chunks failing to load and killing people, these are the issues that are like, okay, someone should spend some time on that, you know? Especially if they're still committed to releasing all the same features in 1.16, whether it be Bedrock or Java. It shouldn't matter how many bugs they choose to fix in the meantime. The time of delivery doesn't matter as long as when release day comes in, again, weeks or months. We don't know the precise date right now, beyond probably the first half of 2020. But as long as when the final update comes, you're ready for that, we should be all good. So just keep that in mind. That is my kind of update today regarding this update. My update regarding the update, if you will. I hope you did all enjoy it. I want to just clarify again that this snapshot isn't too exciting. Even like Zoglin's, like, sure, they're cool, they're great, they're fun, etc. But you know what I find still more interesting? The joke snapshot from yesterday. There are so many dimensions in that snapshot. It even has the cool loading screen from last year. But, like, this joke snapshot, the 20W14 Infinite snapshot, which, by the way, has been updated today with the new menu screen, which I think is kind of cool. But, you know, this joke snapshot has so many wonders within it that we're still discovering today, the second day it's coming out, which is what I love about this, because, fun fact, there is an item in here that was found called the Very Fine Block. Again, all it is just a block that says Home Sweet Home, a very fine item. Why does it exist? I don't know for sure. I think that's kind of beautiful by itself, right? Look at this thing. It looks like the old Minecraft Pocket Edition, you know, like logo from the beta or the light version back in the day. Also, you can see how in the world generator, they've added new biomes here. Obviously, some of these were like for jokes, like the biome for player with no time for nonsense, but they added actually interesting, you know, like little joke biomes that come up in the new dimensions, like shapes, for instance. This is crazy cool, in my opinion. Should we generate the biome with player for no time for nonsense? Because we saw shapes yesterday. Actually, you know, I need to see shapes again. Let's see shapes with the world generator of surface. Why not, you know? Let's see what this looks like. Look at it. It's an entire biome filled with shapes. Does this need to exist in regular Minecraft? Of course not. Should this even? No. But is this a great idea to have in the settings of players who want a weird challenge? It's like a challenge map built into Minecraft. I love it as a concept. I feel like, again, being able to play this, especially in Bedrock, where we don't have nearly as many settings, you know, when it comes to parity, this is the sort of thing that should be thought of. Or maybe just the buffet, superflat, etc. But I love that you can just take one goof around of the custom settings and make something this amazing, the shapes biome. Also, there are Easter egg dimension names, so if you type in, for instance, this is a long phrase that hopefully is not in any dictionary. For example, if you type this into a book that we sign, whatever, it doesn't actually matter. But if we type this into a book that we then sign and close, so we have a book that just says, this is a very long phrase that is hopefully not in any dictionary, then this will actually take you to an Easter egg dimension. So as you can see, you throw it in there, and then you go to a world that is definitely pre-made for this Easter egg. You can tell. Look at this. Look at this. Hello. Only purpose of this message was to troll completionists and put my name somewhere. Should we increase our render distance? Somewhere in the Minecraft again. I hope that it wasn't cracked by accident. It obviously was supposed to take more time than other phrases. Written during Time of the Plague by Bok. Yes, lowercase, because symmetry. All these worlds are yours except Europa. Use them together, use them in peace. Europa, the moon sold separately. What a fun thing, right? And that's before we get into books like ones like Llama. Again, these are very specifically chosen for these words. Lots of words were chosen as Easter egg dimensions because the Llama dimension clearly isn't random, as you can tell by the fact that when you go there and it loads up, instead of being this random mess like all the other ones, it's just a room that says relax, enjoy, and then it's a cute llama wearing some clothes. I love this. I love this dimension. It's the best dimension. It's got bedrock on all the sides beyond this. It's beautiful. They planned so many Easter eggs for what is arguably just a dumb joke. Like, okay, let's try this again. Let's type Skygrid into the book, for instance. Sky. Again, this is something that wouldn't happen purely by coincidence, but yet, on this obvious other side, pre-programmed in there for when this happens, they have made it, if you believe this. Look, exactly like Skygrid. You can play Skygrid inside of Minecraft. There is a Skygrid dimension. I love this concept. I don't know if this was ever, anywhere close to being real. Like, maybe they just thought it was a cool April Fool's joke that they just really managed to nail. But for real, they have nailed it. They have made dimensions that have an infinite amount of enjoyment as a little joke on the side of everything else. So, long story short, this fascinates me beyond all belief. I will, of course, be checking them out some more tonight on today's stream. If you want to see me check out more dimensions, we'll be doing precisely that, trying to find more Easter eggs, but also just seeing the magic of it all, because you can just warp to anything that you might find fascinating. Because you can just type in anything you're interested in, and you warp there, and there's a chance that there's a pre-programmed Easter egg, or even if it's not an Easter egg, just finding something that matches it is fascinating beyond all belief. And yeah, I want to search partly for Easter eggs, partly just for fun, because the list of these is being expanded every single day. The fact that some dumb Easter egg joke actually has all this potential. Look, it's a village made out of slime blocks. It's a mountain with a village on it, it looks like, made out of slime blocks. If I'm not mistaken, actually, if we dig down, we should eventually find that there is the overworld chilling under here, under all of these slime blocks. Isn't this cool? I mean, is it cool? I mean, that's up to you. But there's a slime dimension. The crash is my PC. We're probably going to crash more than once tonight, based on the fact that the slime dimension's doing it. But yeah, you want to see a bunch of dimensions? Half an hour after stream ends, we'll be checking them out live on stream. Check it out there. Sorry for using update news to promote my own streams, but you know what? This week was pretty light on update news, but it's not light on new dimension exploring, which you can see in a little bit on this exact channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.